Since 1909, Hargrave Military Academy has been developing young men into leaders of character, prepared for lifelong success. Let's take a closer look at the campus and facilities. Camden Hall is the hub of the Hargrave campus. It hosts dormitories on the top 2 floors, classrooms, the military office, which is the heart of our residential life program, and the Davenport Administration Center, which has offices from the President's Office, Registrar, Business Office, Academic Dean, Development Office, Chief of Staff's Office, and the Admissions Office. The Academic Learning Center is a designated space to support cadets' success in their academic endeavors. Cadets and classes use the space for studying, group projects, workspace, and study hall. Also online learning support and academic support specific to the needs of each cadet. The Landon Davenport Science Center, the home of Hargrave's CIS program, as well as all of our science labs, the Distance Learning Center, and the Information Technology Department. Hargrave Center for Leadership and Ethics is the heart of our character and leadership programs. Hargrave is the only high school in the state of Virginia certified as a National School of Character. The Owen R. Cheatham Chapel is the heart and soul of Hargrave campus. In addition to hosting important events like graduation, baccalaureate, and award ceremonies, the chapel hosts twice weekly chapel services and special events like Spiritual Emphasis Week and concerts throughout the year. The John D. Smith Dining Hall may well be one of the most popular facilities on campus. Teenage boys love to eat, and our food services team works hard to offer our cadets fresh, nutritious, and delicious offerings, 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. The dining hall also hosts community gatherings like advisor dinners, awards banquets, and a multitude of holiday meals. The Wilmarth Game Room is the perfect place for cadets to fill their downtime with some fun activities and make some memories. Cadets have access to ping pong, pool tables, foosball, video game systems, TVs, and vending machines. It's the perfect place to take a break and relax. As a boarding school, the dormitories, or barracks as we call them in the military model, are the real home on campus. Students typically room 2 to a room. The dorms are a safe, clean, and secure place for our cadets to reside during their time on campus. The military office is the hub of our residential life program. Cadets can come to the lounge and hang out, or watch some television, check the daily uniform and schedule on their information board, and meet with the commandant, the dean of students, or check in with their TAC or cadet leadership. Hargrave is home to 2 military-style obstacle courses. Each course offers students unique physical and mental challenges, along with a little fun. And it doesn't take cadets long to learn that the key to success is teamwork and perseverance. The climbing tower offers cadets an opportunity to practice their climbing and rappelling skills. The reward for success is a magnificent view of the Blue Ridge Mountains at the top and a sweet ride back down. Hargrave's newly renovated weight room is the perfect complement to our vibrant athletics department. Here, cadets can find everything they need to get bigger, faster, and stronger, and it's overseen by trained coaches. The Simpson Parade and Soccer Field hosts the Tigers soccer program. It also serves as the parade field for the academy, where cadets can practice their marching and drilling skills to show off to their parents and proud guests on parade days. The Dick Dyer Field is home to Hargrave's football program. Friday nights in the fall, a Hargrave football team takes the field against teams from around the state. The historic Walter Davis Gym is home to the prestigious Hargrave basketball program. Hargrave's respected postgraduate basketball program is a source of pride for the academy, having produced over 28 current NBA players and scores of Division I basketball players. Having a top-tier postgraduate program attracts a steady stream of college coaches to watch our teams play, and cadets have the opportunity to compete at every level, from middle school through postgraduate. Hargrave's basketball teams pack the gym with excitement each week during the basketball season. The Grant Gym is the site of many events at Hargrave, including sports practice during inclement weather, basketball practices, marching and drill, the twice-a-year Hargrave blood drives, and the Winter Carnival. The Onishi Davenport Aquatics Center, ODAC for short, is home to Hargrave swimming and diving teams, as well as a U.S. swim team. Cadets also use the pool for training exercises, water polo, water safety training and classes, lifeguard instruction, and scuba classes, among other programs. In addition, the ODAC's open to the community for use for swim lessons, water aerobics, and more. The Landon Tennis Center is home to the Hargrave Tennis Program. Cadets have access to its 6 lighted courts. It's a USTA certified tennis facility along with a hitting wall. The Rogers Fuller Baseball Field houses the Tiger Baseball program. Each spring, the Tigers take the field in a competitive private school league. Batting cages and other amenities provide all the tools young players need to develop their skills. To learn more about how Hargrave can help prepare your son for a lifetime of leadership and success, contact our admissions office at 1-800-432-2481 or email us at admissions@hargrave.edu.
The engine is starting up.
For launch, GC, go, guidance, go, Fido, go, prop, go, GNC, go, Max, go, Eagle, go, Ecom.
Go pending final steps to cabin link check.
2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Rift Nation Network, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you could need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified.
For almost a century, U.S. presidents have witnessed and reported UAPs, including Franklin Roosevelt, Jimmy Carter, and Ronald Reagan. Did aliens seek and observe these leaders of the free world up close? Why? Has there already been contact? If so, is it something to do with controlling the limitless wealth contained in the skies above us? Our leaders have acknowledged that they are here, but another group seems intent on keeping that truth hidden. Who is this group? And how does it seem to have more power than our elected leaders? These are the Alien Disclosure Files.
And good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning, floating head.
I know. I got the. I'm doing the whole genie thing again.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'm like Mecca like a high, make a hiney ho. What's up, Zombie?
Zombie. Next time I'm going to try that with this. I'm going to put the whole turban thing on and go.
Yeah, paint your feet blue.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That might be fun. That'll be a great show. I think I might have to bring Zombie back, man, as a show where we have a little bit of fun and comedy. That'd be
fun to do. Is like do like a retro podcast. Yeah. I listen to those all the time, man. It's so much fun to like reminisce and talk about when you're growing up. That would be a fun show to do.
I think that would be actually something unique, if you will. Maybe.
Yeah.
If we
for the network. I don't think anyone's done that yet.
Yeah, probably. Who knows? I am Ed Odell, of course.
I'm Ryan from the Freaking Awesome Paranormal Show.
And you are watching What's Going Down right here on the RNN. This is a show where we talk about news up to date in the last month, which there's been some interesting stuff going on. We talk about the paranormal, supernatural news. We talk about ufology, modern science, you name it. It's the general discussion. Get your coffee, get your tea, get whatever it might be. And welcome to the show. Hey, well, we already got some crew in here. Yeah. You know what? We're going to bring this up because since this is the news show, we're going to make sure that everybody is seen. Good morning.
Well, I didn't know we could do that.
Oh, yeah. Bringing the overlay. Just go over to overlay and snap it on. You bring the chat right up, brother.
Oh, that is cool.
So everybody gets seen on this morning day. Hey, you got your coffee with you?
I do. I got my cinnamon vanilla great value coffee.
All right. I'm going with the Folgers Dark Sail this morning with a little bit of French creamer myself, getting ready for the day. I wish I had a little something else added extra to it.
I bet you do.
Yeah. Thank you, Mama Susan. Thank you, Michelle and Sean. Thank you, HCP in the house, Hill City Paranormal. Michelle Wellfong with the haunted apartment. Yeah. Good to see y'all, and thank you. Share us out. Make sure to hit those thumbs and those hearts. Get us monetized out. Let's beat the algorithm.
Yeah,
we started. Go ahead, brother.
Yes, it definitely. It helped, sharing out,
Yes.
Get the word out about it. It's hard. I know it's hard to maybe watch the show 11 o'clock in the morning, but, people can come back and watch it later or listen to the podcast later on.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. I mean, archiving it. If you can't be here right now, at least you get the news in of what's going on around the world.
Thank you, Ashley.
Huh. Why is this? Dude. Okay. I've got a small difficulty on my end about something.
What's it?
My file is not coming up on the other end of we share my video file. Mm-hmm. I keep going to. Here it goes. Well, that was a little weird. It's where I store all of our videos for the show. So.
Okay.
Thank you, Ashley, and hello. Good morning. Good morning. We got some news for you guys. We're gonna chit chat this morning, and we're not going to wait. We're gonna cut to the chase. Ryan, I know you got a file that you said you want to share. It is a subject that we're going to talk about, and I'll follow up with 2 other files if I don't have the same as you. It's going to be a really interesting, how do we say, last month in the
Yeah.
paranormal with itself. Hey, good morning, Lisa. Good morning. Thank you, Michelle. Brother, what are we kicking this bad boy off with?
Well, I figured we'd talk about what's been on the minds of a lot of people. I've noticed the U.S. Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Some
a
shady shit going on.
actually if you want to kick that, do you already have your video up?
Yeah, I got I'll go ahead and share my screen now. So I'm going
Yeah.
to
You do your thing, and
share.
I think I might have one to follow you. I just want to make sure. I'll let you bring yours up. Yep. Nope. You go ahead
All
and do
right.
your thing.
Imagine being happily married, or so you.
Sorry.
This is absolutely mind-boggling. So US Ghost Adventures, completely unrelated to Ghost Adventures as we know it, is attempting to bully out competition. Now, US Ghost Adventures is a tour guide community kind of ghost hunting group who basically own a lot of very notable paranormal locations within the US of A. But they are trying to bully out competition, as from a screenshot that has been shared from Annapolis Ghost Tours and Cruise, Lance Zal, who is the owner of US Ghost Adventures and is a self-proclaimed entrepreneur, is basically bullying out the competition and trying to financially basically rug pull absolutely anyone and everyone, even going as far as to email a well-known article of paranormal stuff to basically state that there is a financial incentive if they remove Annapolis Ghost Hunts and Cruise and basically replace all links with US Ghost Adventures. Now, what do you guys make of this? Let me know.
Yeah, that's right. We're kicking off with this.
Yeah, it's been, like I said, it's been on the minds of a lot of people, and we talked about it last year, I believe, with the Hunts of Richmond.
We did. What kicked it off is one of our sponsorships and I had a long discussion because our brother Sean is in the house, and Sean brought it to my attention. We were talking about it, and then I took it to another sponsor, and then of course after that we all got into that discussion. You're right, with Haunted Richmond. This is a lot deeper than people think. I know when you, Ryan, posted the general a couple weeks ago, it stirred up a hell of a business along with the Axe Murder House. The interesting part about this is there's a lot of people out there that think, well, we're going to take these people on. All right, we're not even talking about the cities yet. This is going to be in a very in-depth discussion, you guys. We're just talking about the paranormal adventure side, and then we're going to discuss into how they go into cities, etc. What they're talking about is how they take people to court and how they drown them in court. Ryan, you want to go ahead and enlighten on that one?
Well, I mean, it's tough because these people, they have all this money, and you have these smaller tour guides who are trying to do things the right way, and they don't have the resources that these people have that are all over the country. I mean, they use the word U.S. Ghost Adventures right there. People automatically think they're associated with Ghost Adventures, the TV show, and they will buy tickets just because they think they're associated with Zach Bagans. So, you get extra money from that. And it's tough to try to compete when you don't have the money to fight the court costs and all that stuff.
Yeah. I think the one thing that has happened, I think that name has changed. I don't think it's Ghost Adventures anymore. I think they were able to break that, if I remember correctly. But what they've done too is they've stepped further. Zal has, of course, bought the Axe Murder House and kicked the original owner completely decided
It's
now.
still U.S. Ghost Adventures.
Is it?
Yeah,
Wow.
U.S. Ghost Adventures, frighteningly fun tour or ghost tours.
I'm actually surprised that they got away with that, to be honest with you, especially with the ego of the gentleman who owns that television show. Just saying.
Yeah.
All right, that's
Yeah.
nothing that nobody doesn't already know. It's not something I'm coming out and criticizing. That's fact. Everybody knows it. So just saying. So on that, they're going and I don't know where his money's coming from. I'm not going to claim to do. I know there's 2 YouTubers that are being threatened with lawsuits. How sad is that? That he's so threatened by the word. Now he's bought the Axe Murder House, and again, he's kicked the other person way to the side, which has stirred up a hornet's nest. And now people are starting to understand what you and I and Richmond Haunts and Hill City Paranormal and Ghosts of Staunton and Lexington Paranormal Tours have been talking about. This is not something that just happened, folks. This has been on an ongoing thing for 3 years. There's actually 2 podcasters who are saying they're going after them for instances in the past. And they're like, well, we're going to take them to court. That's what triggered me when you said something about this, Newman. I was like, look, we got to talk about it. We've got to warn people.
Mm-hmm.
These people you're about to go against, if you're going against them in the paranormal for something at the Axe House, they've got a buttload of money, and they will keep you in court until you drowned, till you can't economically stand it. That's how they play this game. I have files and files and files, and I'll be more than happy to post them after the show if you would like. Right to the Rift, or if you're a traveler, straight to the travelers page. That was shared to me by my sponsor, to our sponsor, not mine, ours. Hello.
Yeah.
To give examples and what they do in court and how they drown people. Now, what's the other thing they do? Why are we talking about the people that we just mentioned? Because what they do is they go into towns that have an established ghost tour. They send people in to that ghost tour to listen and take all the information. Hey, Irene, that group has put together for years and years. And give them props again. Ghosts of Stanton, Virginia, and Richmond Haunts. What's the other one? Is there Richmond Ghost Tours? Isn't there another one that's?
All I know is Haunts of Richmond.
Okay, so Haunts of Richmond, not Richmond Haunts. Sorry, you guys. Haunts of Richmond, and they will send people into these groups and take the information and then set up a tour in that same city with the same damn information. They did no work for it. They use the information of those in that town and claim it as their own. Here's the ironic part. A lot of times those tours don't even take place. And if the tour guide doesn't show up, you don't get your money back. You have lost your money. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely, Lisa. I cannot agree. I love Ghosts of Stanton. And I'm going to take the tour with Haunted Richmond this year because I really respect the couple. They've worked really hard to do what they do, and they have a great podcast too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, they heard a lot of times the information they get on the tours, talking about U.S. Ghost Adventures, a lot of information they get on the tours is wrong. Anyways, not every time probably, but a lot from what I've heard, there's a lot of times when the information isn't even true.
Yeah,
that they have on the tours. So
they give misinformation on the location. They go more on fake myths and legends too. Is that correct? Is that what you've heard too?
Yeah.
They create shit.
Rumors. You know,
that's not the way it should be. Oh, good Lord. You want me to read that one, or you want me to read it?
I'll read it.
All right.
I take my paranormal friends to the undocumented places because no one knows what happened, and it could be controversial places due to what happened after the war here. But it's a cool place.
Oh, that's a good point. She's in Japan. That's Hana Japan in the house. Everybody know it. So, she's got a valid point. She's got a good point there, and good. I haven't heard it's going overseas yet, but we have a lot of parallel connections over in Europe. I would love to talk to them. I know Irene is at least telling us, hey, that's not taking place here, but she takes a tour. But maybe, France, England, Scotland. I would love to know if there's other stuff like this that's going on out there. Ooh, I got a little bit of a slur this morning.
There's a difference between, because there are stories that have never been proven, like the story of the suicide hallway in Radford, where the woman, put the baby in the jar and they committed suicide.
Isn't that interesting?
Just a story.
Now, was that there at the school, or was that at St. Albans?
That was St. Albans.
Okay.
There was a woman who I guess gave birth to a fetus or something, and she kept the fetus in a jar in the closet. And I don't know where the story came from, but there's no actual proof of that happening. I think a lot of things, there are a lot of places that have stories like that where it becomes almost like a legend. This gets told, and I don't know who started it.
The story's told over and over again, and it becomes legend. So and
it's when you tell these stories, you're not really lying. You're just going through telling the stories that you've heard about the place, even though there's no actual proof of it. But I was reading a comment on the video I just showed, and one of the people who are commenting on the video said that they were listening in on a U.S. Ghost Adventures tour of the Wash Shoe Club, and one of the tour guides had said that they store bodies in the basement of the Wash Show Club. And he was like, I've investigated the place for 2 years, and there is no basement in the Wash Show Club. So there's a difference between, telling a story that you're not sure of the veracity of it.
Yeah.
And, just making stuff up like there's a basement, like Pee-wee's Big Adventure, there's no basement in the Alamo. So there's, people are paying good money for, tales that may not be true, but at least there's a chance of them there. There's no chance of there being a basement somewhere where there's not.
Agreed.
It
just shows how far these people are going to try to throw a wool over people's eyes. They're doing it economically. They're doing it now with having to create stories. If they even put that tour on and their locations, I think it's really sad. It's really sad. And it's putting in, and this is why I'm also bringing it up, it's bringing another dark spot, a color on the back of the hand, that black dot, to the paranormal. Just another thing to throw it out there and just say, hey, see, this is all bullcrap. This is just entertainment bullshit. And they're rubbing us. It's a rub in our face. No documented research. Exactly, Sean. Exactly. I wanted to say, Lisa did say, I haven't made it to Richmond. Let me know how it goes if you get out there before me. Lisa, you don't need to ask me. Ask the man right below me. He works hand in hand with Haunted Richmond. And
they're great. They had a podcast on my network for a while. And they do a great job on their tours. And when you're a smaller group like that, you've got to make sure you get all the information right, because if you don't, people are going to find out about it and they're not going to come back.
Right.
If with U.S. Ghost Adventures, they have so many tours that it's kind of like it's too much to do any quality control checks and on their tours. It's like going to Walmart and buying tools, and then going to a mom and pop store to buy your tools. A mom and pop store, if you get it wrong, that will cost you business, and it's going to cost you a lot more than it's going to cost a Walmart if they have the wrong tools or whatever. So that's
the other tale. Now you brought up another good point. Also on the tours, they rent out equipment. They make you pay for the use of the equipment that you're on a tour on certain tours.
And what are you going to get sitting outside during like a busy night, like downtown Richmond, with an EMF meter walking around with all these people running? How are you going to get an EVP downtown with all these people walking around?
But it's just another scam.
Yeah.
That's all it is. You know damn well that your EMF reader K2, your tricorder, camera, whatever, when you're doing these tours, they're going to be all over the place. And they know this. So they're tricking the people on the tour to spend money on useless items and time.
Oh, shiny things.
Yeah, exactly. Let me catch up here. Irene says, it is the SS waterfall that is eerie and cool and less dangerous. Oh, very cool. She says there's a mountain where samurai warriors died. Yeah.
That will get your attention, Howie. Samurai warriors.
That's right. You got me in you're in my element right now. Committing Harry Carey. And got really affected because I didn't bring my crystals, but that's also a cool place. Ooh, cool place, but I respect that. Again, Sean did say no documented research. They agreed. Irene says, but no paranormal investigator would go there from America because it's a tourist attraction, but it has a dark history. Ghosts Zitter came, but we don't have any vital records. I keep the information for us only because I don't reveal my secret. Amen, sister. Sean also says they now sell equipment too. Oh, really? Why am I not surprised? Lisa has the private tours are run by the people who have a genuine passion for this field. They are the ones who really makes the tours. The good ones spread that passion through the whole tour. Sometimes that's the best experience. Oh, I could not agree more. Ryan, you've been with me on Stanton, right? We've gone on that tour.
I've not been to Stanton yet. I've got to go up there with you.
Oh, that's right. You missed that one that year. Well,
yeah.
Well, we're planning a big trip.
Let me know when you go. Let me know when you go do Haunts at Richmond. I'll go. I'll see if Angie wants to come with, and we'll go out there with you.
I would love it. I mean, that would be great. Maybe we can get Sarah down here and we all four go. I think that'd be a great date night.
Sounds perfect.
And also want to get, if we can get her, I think this would be a great place for the little man to have a good run around. It's a beautiful city, great places for him to get let loose. The park that's above Stanton is a great place for him to wear his energy. He might enjoy it. I don't know. It's up to you guys, but I can tell you, make sure to bring your walking shoes and get ready to go up and down some hills if you go to Stanton, Virginia. It is a hilly, but it's probably the most haunted per capita city in Virginia. I will say that. From everything from revolutionary to Civil War to presidents. It's the home of two presidents, to colleges, that haunted college there. It's just got so much. So definitely making a trip, and the whole crew. It may even, if I work it with Marty, it might even be a Rift weekend, celebrating with the two, Rift and GOS. So we'll see. But that's not taken away from anybody. There's so many great tours, and these people just want to slice it and dice it to get the piece and take away from them. It's kind of like they want to take money from them. And now we've got the Axe Murder House that he's purchased, and it's an ongoing drama with these sites. This is where this is leading into now. We go from the tours into event locations or haunted or tours locations, whichever you like to call. Okay.
Beautiful cities in Virginia too. Love driving by Desjardins.
Oh, Desjardins. Okay. Public announcement. I'm going to do it right here. If you go to Stanton, Virginia, please do not try to get into Desjardins. That is the big mental asylum that's on the top of the hill that you see right off of 85. It is no trespassing. If you cross that fence, you will get a major fine and possibly 6 months to a year in jail. Do not go on that property. It is no trespassing. It is owned by the Life Museum or the Farmers Museum. Lisa, which one is it? I can't remember, but it is definitely a no-go. It's a no-fly zone.
The Frontier Museum?
Yes, volunteer. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. And it's a beautiful place to look at, but the horrors that took place there were unlike no other. Literally like no other. Connected to Adolf Hitler and gene splicing the whole nine. It is a federal felony now. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Lisa. It's a federal felony now. States owns it. Oh, the state owns it now. Okay. No, let's see. Irene says no fees except for the entrance to the area, and we can have fun. Oh, she's going back to the fall. All right.
Hey, I'm down.
Yeah, no doubt. Sean, I may or may not been there way back in the day.
Yeah. Keep the mystery about it there, Sean.
Yeah. You slipped it out there, buddy. But totally understand. And back in the day, we didn't even think about that. We don't think about private property. We're going into places. Now we know better.
Yeah.
And that's some of the things we want to pass on to people that are getting in the field. Don't go into places that you don't have permission. If it's no trespassing, don't try to sneak into you. There's a lot of urban explorers. And what you do is you harm the things for us researchers, investigators that would like to research that place when you go and do it. And it's because of the past ghost hunters experience from 10, 15 years ago on now. And then there's a lot more respect now, but there's still people wanting to get into places that should not be.
Back in the day, back when YouTube was really small or just getting started, I guess there were a bunch of urban explorer videos that, that was when people were passionate about it. And, but now people are just going out there and just more vandalism, breaking in and stuff like that. So it's in places are noticing it more too. So there's a lot more security on places where it wasn't as bad as it was before.
Yeah.
So, you get caught, you get trespassed, and then it makes it harder for the rest of us who want to try to do real investigating and, because we actually care about the locations.
Right.
Which I think when people first started doing it, it was that people were cared about it and they were genuinely curious. Now it's just more of a let's see if we can get in type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with you. We have a better acknowledgement. We know how this works a lot better than we did before. And we know the lines to take to try to communicate to whoever is owning or of the property location instead of just going in there and getting our butts in trouble with the law.
We had a group last year or the year before who came out to the investigation at the cabin, and they were going to drive out to do an investigation to Desjardins. And they're like, I'm like, how'd you get in? He's like, we're going to jump the fence. And we told them straight up, like, if you go out there and because you go out there, because they're going to leave the investigation, drive all the way up to Stanton and sneak in like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, if you do that, you can't come back to the cabin because we don't want to be associated with that kind of stuff. And they didn't do it.
Got to be integrity. We got to hold integrity. Everybody needs to hold to it. And we should hold. I think Rhonda said a good point. We are seeing more people stepping up and holding the integrity of the field than we have in the past. Don't do this. I wouldn't do this. Or if you do this, there will be consequences, which, in today's society, this is a generation of non-consequential situations. But I think in the paranormal field, we're actually seeing that. There is now reaction to someone's non-positive reaction. And I think Rhonda's right about that. We're going to talk about that in just a second with locations. But you know what? Lisa did put there and says, it's also very dangerous. The last time I was inside was probably 10 years ago, and the second and third floors of the newer building were starting to cave in. Yeah, see, exactly. Irene says, there is one place I would let go that's fenced off, but I'll take you in. It's not against the law, no security, and it helps if you can speak Japanese like us. Oh, wow, that'll be interesting.
I might need my Google Translator for that.
All right. Oh, check that out, though. 700 samurai warriors SS themselves in a cave. Oh, wow. But I need to go with someone who's experienced like me. Gotcha. That reminds me of the Dynasty Terakaya warriors when it comes to that, too. That's very interesting. Let me continue. Now, that's a place. Now, that's a very good point because now we're talking about places. Look at all the stuff that's taking place in 6 months. I'm telling you, and I'm making this statement now. All right. If you're running a location like crap, if you're misusing Howieism again, misusing the people that are there, and if your character is not in the justifications of the paranormal field, you're going to be seen. Eventually, you're going to fall. We're seeing it everywhere. Look at the Conjuring house. It's got not one, but two separate drama situations going on both parties' ends. So you got that. Now we got the Axe Murder House. There's another house in Utah that is about to go public on some not so good things going on. Also, if I remember correctly, there's several locations. Oh, wish Joe Campbell was on. Joe and I had this huge discussion a while back in where he's at, how there's this one person that's bought up all these properties. Something that we encountered, Ryan, here 10 years ago in the Richmond, Virginia area, where you have to sign waivers and they won't allow you in, and it's their location, that kind of crap. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah,
just be aware and don't be scared to call people out. If they're mistreating people and they're mistreating guests, make it known. That's one of the things we've got to do in the field. Don't make it personal. Don't bring your personal drama into it. But if it's a professional level, or if it's on a professional business level, call it out. Call them out. Just because you may have a beef with a location owner, don't make it a big deal. That's wrong. That's not integrity. That's not honor. But
the difference between being professional and personal. If these places aren't doing what they should be as far as the tours or investigations, then they need to be called out for their own good. Because if they're not doing what they should be doing, they're going to lose customers.
Right. And let that be on them. But if you see it, call them out. Spread the word, kind of like what we see on the Axe Murder House. Ryan, you did an excellent job by posting that. And you made a beehive with that. I mean, it's coming out just like The Conjuring. It's all.
I saw it. I'm like, well, this is coming, because I knew we were talking about it. But when I see this guy in England who's posting videos about it, you see where it's starting to spread.
Yeah.
And the word is getting out, which I guess over internet these days is not hard for word to get up, but there's so much stuff out there that stuff like that can get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
and the fact that it made such an impact on him that he decided to make a video about it. So yeah, the word is getting out about what's been going on with the and we could probably do a whole show about it and have different people come on and talk about their experiences.
Yeah.
You would do a lot better job than we are of explaining what's going on.
Yeah, but this is just your basic news. We're getting the news out there. You can do the research. You can find it. We're just bringing it to you. We want you out there. We want you guys to look this up and see what's going on and share it out. Irene also said you pick up and choose your battles wisely because you can get into trouble spiritually, especially here. People don't choose wisely. And I had to heal 2 friends of mine that nearly died from the areas they went to. See, and that's another valid point. I mean, you go to these places that are not so well known, and you don't know what you're going to run into. So that's a valid point, Irene. Thank you for bringing that up. And Sean, you're right, dude. Yeah, I can't agree more. Startling, call things out. Bravo. Thank you. I mean, that's what Ryan and I do, and we're bringing you the news. And we want people to be aware of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think a lot of people, like for me, I was kind of confused about what was going on. That's the reason why I posted that video, because it kind of gives it a full explanation of what has been happening with U.S. Ghost Adventures. And I don't know what is going to happen. I guess people stop going, but I don't know if it's ever going to get to the point where they start selling off houses or whatever, because they're going to be people that are curious about investigating who aren't paying attention to stuff like we are.
Yeah, or they just don't care. Like y'all have you. Well, we're going to do it anyway, and that's fine. We're just giving you the heads up.
Yeah. So
everybody, these YouTubers and social media, they're just trying to give you a heads up. They don't want to see you get scammed and mistreated. I mean, I don't want to see anybody mistreated.
Me neither.
No. So let's move on to the next subject, shall we? Because, man, this is all paranormal today, and 2 major things. We may not even get to the science and all that today, folks. But it's a major paranormal thing going on. We're going to hit to the second one, and we'll discuss it. Dun, 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 dun. Let us roll.
You got this, babe.
I don't like it.
That's Ghost Adventure star Erin Goodwin with wife Victoria. E.T. has confirmed she was arrested last week after allegedly hiring a hitman to kill him.
Hold your breath when something goes wrong, because it gets spooky.
And I was just, hey, I'm going to go look over here. I wasn't even rolling at you. No, I don't know.
In the arrest report obtained by TMZ, police say text messages prove Victoria was plotting Erin's murder with an inmate in Florida. She's accused of setting aside more than $11,000 for the hit and even sharing his filming schedule.
I mean, you have to do it for so long, go in and hope something doesn't happen, but usually it does, so.
The conspiracy was only uncovered when officers at the prison confiscated the inmate's phone.
This is our evidence, our ghost adventures.
Victoria has denied the charges of solicitation and conspiracy to commit murder. She's now being held on a $100,000 bond. Erin tells TMZ he was blindsided by the plot, which was allegedly first hatched last October.
Honestly, it felt like this black mass just hit me, and I was just like, whoa!
The couple married in 2022 at Disneyland's Haunted Mansion. And just last month, they posted these loving tributes on Instagram. Victoria writing, mini golf with my Valentine.
She's definitely afraid of haunted houses, but at least it's not real ghosts. Well, there are real ghosts in here, actually.
Ah, no!
So,
you think he knows
this? Dude, right? Yeah. Here's my other point about this, though. Oh man, this is kind of could this be a legit could this be a scam? Could this be a media pump up? Does that make sense? I mean, do you think this is a legit story, or do you think maybe this is made up to get more viewers?
I mean, I'm not going to touch that because I'm not going to. I don't know. Honestly, that would be a pretty complex plan.
Yeah.
If it is just a plan to get more viewers, you know how much hate that would cause. To go on. Not even Zach, but Aaron, who appears to have a pretty good reputation. I I'd agree with Michelle that it's legit. That could be, Aaron does deal with a bunch of dark stuff. It's a possibility that maybe he brought something home with him that maybe could have, been an put an effect on her, maybe. Because it's so outrageous that it's like one of those things you'd see like on a Lifetime movie or something, or like it's like, okay, what can happen next? And then this happened, and this happened, and this happened. Like, this doesn't, like, she falls in love with a murderer in like Florida, and they start talking to each other, and they start sending each other like saucy messages and stuff like that. And he killed his family, and it's in the fact that she's writing all these posts about him, about Aaron, saying dinner with my Valentine, and like 4 months later or earlier, she tried to have him killed.
Now you get it. See, put the two and two together. Both are extremes. That's the thing. That's the crazy part. Now, I'm not nothing against Aaron. I'm not trying to discredit. I'm just, as a reporter, I'm looking at both possibilities.
Maybe you can compartmentalize yourself mentally, where it's like, okay, it didn't work out. I didn't get caught. He didn't die. I'm just gonna forget it ever happened. And of course, and she thinks that no one's gonna find out those messages. So she was like, okay, no harm, no foul. I'm not gonna act like I did anything wrong because I'm not gonna mess up what I have.
Right.
So I'm just going to just keep acting this way. I'm glad I didn't get caught. Eventually, it did come out that she, it happened in October, and I'm like, so, which is like what, February or March that she got caught. Like, when did the police get the phone?
Mm-hmm. It was in March. Yeah.
And why wouldn't the guy erase the messages?
See, that's the thing. There's a intertwining thing here, and that's what I was looking at again as a news reporter. I'm looking at both situations. They're both extreme, and it's an interesting situation. It's scary to think of that, but it's true. Now, to back up what you're saying, there's countless, and I mean countless, reports of these things taking place during paranormal conventions, paracons, and it's all over the United States. Now, I'm going to use this as a backup to the story. So we had the wife wanting to kill the husband, but we also know that they're in the paranormal field just like anywhere else. You guys, I'm just using the paranormal as their box. That's the space we're in. Of date rape drugs being used at these conventions, both men and women. We know the same thing takes place in any other place. There's, we're just going to use the word cheating. Okay. I like to call this the peril orgy. at a lot of these conventions because the parties that take place and the things that take place behind the scenes, these things happen all the time. So, giving support to this story, I could say, yes, this could be possible that this is very legit story. Oh, okay. Hold on. You know, I gotta take care of one thing here.
The flush one. Yep.
Thank you and goodbye. All right. Yeah, I had to flush somebody. So that's just supporting that story. And we look at relationships in the paranormal, it's just like anything, but it's like the reason why I think it's more high profile to the paranormal is because we are a close-knit community. If you think about it, the conventions and everything, we're kind of like the spiritual version of Amway. I can't believe I used Kenny's terminology right there. I cannot believe it, but I just did. Or our religious factions. It is interesting to me, but we have to be careful in this field who we connect with. And I like the way Irene was talking. We don't. We might know somebody, we think we know them, but we really don't still know them, and that's the scary part. That is the really scary part. How long does it take to know somebody? How much trust? How much link do you give an individual? I mean, if you're at these conventions, you get hit by date drugs. What watch your friends. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Those people you're connected with, watch them, especially if they're female at one of these things. And I know a lot of investigators do watch over the females, and because it's a target. We have so many subcultures blending into the paranormal now. It's kind of scary. It's kind of like these subcultures are coming in because it's like sheep for the slaughter.
And I think a lot of times people look at themselves as like pseudo celebrities, and they do have people who want to come see them and talk to them. And sometimes it goes to their heads.
Yeah.
And if you have people fawning over you because you're like on a TV show or something like that, it could get to you. And you talk about Aaron's wife, he's gone for such a long time and, filming and stuff like that. She's home. She's a good looking girl, and yeah, she has the internet, and she, just the person she chose is just, I don't know if she had that idea in her head already, or maybe he put the idea in her head, where it's like, you're too good for him, or, we should be together. But I don't know why, like prison fantasy she was having where they would actually end up together. Like he's in prison for murdering his family. What was the end game? What did she think was going to happen?
Sandra.
Yeah.
Valid point. I think this has been a great show. You guys, like I said, this wasn't one of our normals. We had two areas that we really wanted to look at and bring to y'all this morning and get it out there and get everybody thinking and looking at things. We had a specific idea in mind about this. Now, two things. Next month, whole new video. There's going to be some adjustments that have been well overdue and needed that I'll be working on this afternoon as soon as actually we get off here. Two, we're going to be focusing more on the ufology and the science because there is a lot coming out. These just happen to be two dynamic stories that really need to be discussed and get it out there. So if you would, you guys, they say not for us to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Please like, subscribe, share. Please hit the thumb button and the heart button. It helps us get seen. It beats and helps the algorithms. Right now, there's a lot that's being pushed down. We got moderated for a lot of music in the past. for stuff that we actually had legal rights to do, but they held us down. So on this last point, I got one more video, Ryan.
Okay.
Then I want to show, and I'm going to get everybody's opinion, and everybody, travelers, thank you so much for being here, and those alike. I got a video, and I'm going to get everybody's opinion on it. So let me bring that up and see what you guys think, because it caught my attention. I went, huh, this is interesting. First, it has to do with, and I found this not on paranormal, but what do? I work in the trucking business. And I was on one of the sites on YouTube and I came across this and I was like, oh, this is interesting. So let me bring this up. And guys, take a look at this a couple of times and then give us your opinion. I found this interesting. Ryan, check this out.
Okay.
Now, I'm stopping in here for a reason. How many of you, be honest, how many of you were looking right here?
That's why I focused at first, but then I
Right.
saw that. Yeah.
Okay. And then we have this right here. Now, I'm going to leave this up for a second. I want to get you guys' opinions. Ryan, I'm going to come to you. What do you see comparatively to this video?
I mean, I've seen these videos before where it looks like there's someone standing on the side of the road that's transparent. That these trucker cams get. I mean, it's kind of right now. It just kind of looks like a smudge.
Yeah,
but I can see where I can see where there could be legs and stuff.
Let me pull back. Okay.
It looks like there's something standing on the side of the road.
It does. It does. And that's why I wanted to bring this out today. That is a very good point. But I also want to bring it to it because this is something that we all get hit with. Majority of the new people in the paranormal, and even some, individuals will look at it and go, huh, maybe. What we fail to do is apply the science and the thought behind it. In my opinion, this is my opinion. So if y'all would like to give your input, please jump in chat. Tell us what you think. I'll bring it back here. Let me play it again. Now, there is one point that does get me as a researcher, and I'm going to bring it back right there. Okay. As a regular paranormal researcher, I'm going to go, that's pareidolia. Our focus is on this long distance, which we know that's a fluorescent sign. In my opinion, that's a fluorescent sign. Because the video doesn't go all the way to the sign. So you have that. You have this location right here. Now, what caught my attention as I pull back, there's another sign right here. So that sign basically bounces out to this location right here.
I mean, if that's a sign, right? If that's a sign on the off the side of the road, maybe the other thing down distance is another car or something, maybe a motorcycle. That seems like it's actually on the road. That might be supposed to be perspective. I've definitely seen more. I've seen videos like this where the spirit, whatever, on the side of the road is a lot more defined.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can actually see the arms and the legs.
Right.
Compared to this, which doesn't ever really get fully formed into anything.
Well, this is what gets me. With saying that, right there. This is the only thing that gets me on this, Ryan, and that's why I want to talk about it. The sign itself is legitly out of frame, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there's still something that is right here. Now, is that because it's casting into the window to the camera? We're going to leave it. I'll leave it for y'all to think about. But this is an ending note. We as investigators have to investigate everything properly. We have to put everything into detail. And Ryan, just like you and I have always said, we weren't there. Who are we to judge if it is or isn't? I can just base it off my opinion on what I'm seeing and thinking and knowing comparatively to what is. Irene says, child 5 years old, maybe not that specific to that white figure, but there is a spirit there that I feel. Okay. Ashley says, possible reflection. There you go. Michelle goes, looks like something is standing there. So, or maybe more. It could be. And that's why I wanted to bring this to y'all and have this little end discussion, if you will, at the end of the show. And
I think
this
that should
gives
be
us a
fun.
chance to talk.
There might be a fun way to end the show. Find a paranormal video and talk about it and see how we can, see if it's real or maybe try to debunk it. That could be the way we end the show from now on.
Let's do it. Let's make that part of the format. That's what we're going to do from here on out. Every ending of this show will be the last 5 minutes of share and discussion. I love that.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
Bravo,
Perfect.
sir. I love it. I love it. Travelers and those alike, thank you so much for spending your morning with us. I personally cannot thank you enough, Ryan. I'm not speaking to you.
I really appreciate you guys taking your time to come on here and have these discussions with us, and sharing the videos out and sharing the show out. We really appreciate it. Appreciate you guys checking out the Orion Effect every Sunday night at 7:00 p.m. and
checking out the freaking awesome paranormal show at 9:00 on Tuesdays.
Yes, and we have so many awesome shows here on the Rift Nation Network. We are so proud of everyone here, and go check us out. Check us out on Facebook. Give us a like and check out all the rest of our awesome content here on the Rift Nation Network.
And stay tuned, because here soon there will be Rift Nation News will be returning soon, where we go a little bit more in depth and give you more down the road. That's one of the shows that we're looking at to add. You'll also see new shows coming to the network, so we're excited about that. We've got a conspiracy crossing over to ufology show coming, which I'm excited about. We also, as y'all might have heard, we've got some comedy coming out. We will want to add a full range of entertainment, not just paranormal, supernatural, spiritual, but we want to give you as much as we can. And so
a little bit of everything for everyone.
That's right. The nation is growing.
Yes.
And will continue to. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we thank you so very much for tuning in to What's Going Down. And we will see y'all in 1 month right here on What's Going Down.
Have a good one.
Have a good day and have a good one, guys and gals. Have a great day. And may virtue be yours.